What to do. Gosh, there doesn't seem to be any massively terrible pop songs I need to review right now. Well, I suppose I could finish off that top 10 worst songs list of 19... Luca!
Hi, Todd!
Oh. Hi, Matthew.
So, Todd, the 4th year anniversary is coming up. Do you want to do another crossover?
Oh, absolutely, man. I really enjoyed watching Sunday School Musical. Okay, maybe not enjoy.
Don't you want to wait and see what movie I have planned?
No, it's cool. I trust your judgment. What is it?
Oh, nothing. Just Alvin and the Chipmunks, the Squeakquel.
Bring it on.
Let's do this. Didn't you have a weapon?
They would not let me take it on the plane. So, why did you pick that movie for me to review? Because of its butchering of decent pop songs?
No, I just like seeing my fellow contributors in pain.
Yeah, I figured after the whole rap critic thing with Big Mama's House and all that. How can you stand all this crap?
Because I'm insane.
Yeah, no shit. Well, let's get this over with. In 1958, struggling songwriter Ross Bagdasarian found himself a winning gimmick after discovering he could make his voice sound funny by increasing the speed of the recording. He built 3 cartoon characters to fit the high pitch: Alvin, Simon, and Theodore, the Chipmunks. They were a big hit in the 50s, a big hit again during the 80s, and revived one more time by a live-action movie in 2007. And despite a terrible marketing campaign that prominently featured a scene where Alvin eats shit, I actually didn't think that movie was that bad. It actually had a few funny jokes, it had a decent running plot line making fun of the miserable behind-the-scenes machinery of teen pop stardom, and it was self-aware about the silliness of making a live-action Chipmunks movie. Now keep in mind, there's no way it could have actually been good, per se, but when you've got the movie versions of Garfield, Underdog, or the Smurfs to compare it to, I maintain that you could do worse.
I agree, and I largely put this down to ex-Simpsons writer John Vitti being one of the writing team. I've watched it twice, once as a review candidate, and once for this review before you harp on me, and it's harmless. It's not exactly great, but you could certainly do far worse. And obviously the kids loved it because it made a whopping $360 million worldwide, so a sequel was inevitable. Enter the Squeakquel, which is exactly what you feared the first one would be, and then some. And as someone who has watched all 3 Alvin and the Chipmunk movies, I can tell you that this is by far the worst.
You actually saw the 3rd one? Is that even out on DVD yet?
I saw it in the theatre in professional capacity.
Are you sure you're not obsessed?
You shut up! I'm not obsessed with Alvin and the Chipmunks!
Why don't we go on to the review? So the movie begins... We're back! Well, that's unnerving.
I think that sends a chill down every parent's spine. So the movie begins as a charity festival in Paris where the Chipmunks, full-fledged pop sensations, are performing to a sellout crowd.
Well, that was a brutal murder of a perfectly good song. God, what did Ray Davies ever do to you, Squeakquel?
In fact, they're so famous they're even being broadcasted around the world.
That's nice, movie. Never too young to introduce the kids to embarrassingly inaccurate racial stereotypes, I always say.
Also back this time is Dave Seville, played once again by Jason Lee, wearing that pained look of someone who knows the phrase contractual obligation all too well. Alvin starts getting extremely into this gig, and because the Chipmunks have throwing arms that would make Superman jealous, manages to get up in the scaffolding, pulling out some wiring by accident. Well, he's dead.
A lot of punch in that cardboard cutout. Is Dave made of styrofoam or what?
That's right, Jason Lee so does not want to be in this movie that barely 3 minutes have passed before they start writing him out, as he's stuck in a Parisian hospital bed. He tells the Chipmunks, voiced pointlessly by Justin Long, Matthew Gray, Gruber and Jesse McCartney, not that you can tell, that they'll be in the care of Aunt Jackie.
I want you guys to go home and live a normal childhood. I've even made arrangements for you to go to school.
School? I think that cardboard cutout seriously injured Dave's brain. I mean, these are chipmunks, not children. They should be having normal chipmunk lives. I mean, for goodness sake, why do they need to go to school for? Are we training them to be the next chipmunk lawyers, chipmunk scientists? And bye, Jason Lee. The chipmunks are to be escorted out when Alvin predictably starts causing trouble.
The more stress you put on Monsieur Seville, the longer it will take him to recover. I'm not going anywhere without Daydream Believer and, maybe we should give him another shot.
Yeah, one more shot and that tiny body might actually kill him. Go right ahead.
I mean, that's not one, but two scenes where he's caused grievous bodily harm. This movie's dark, man. So the chipmunks fly back to America, and this is where they meet Aunt Jackie. You know, Dave, I really don't think an elderly woman in a wheelchair is going to keep up with these tornadoes of destruction. Also with her is Toby, an aggravating gobshite played by that guy from Chuck.
Let me get those. Oh,
Get the brakes! Get the brakes! Abandoned wheelchair!
God, how many victims are the chipmunks gonna claim? One more and they're officially serial killers.
I mean, nothing says good, clean family entertainment like two people being hospitalised in the first 10 minutes. So with both Dave and Aunt Jackie taking permanent residence in hospitals for most of the remaining running time, it's up to Toby to take care of the chipmunks. Oh, deep joy.
you guys have nothing to worry about. I'm not gonna be like Dave. You know, Dave's gone. Gone? Not gone. He's not dead. He's completely coming back.
When he wants another paycheck.
With each syllable this guy utters, the more I miss Jason Lee's unenthusiasm.
Well, you can tell by the way I use my walk. I'm a cheese balls man, staying alive.
Okay, this really doesn't need a musical number.
Bingo!
Wouldn't that just crush the cheese balls? Two people in the hospital and the cheese balls are okay?
Todd. If we learned anything from the first 10 minutes of the movie, it's that physics operates differently in the presence of talking chipmunks. And from one irritating shoehorn pop song to another.
You spin me right around, baby, right around.
Well, at least it's better than the Flow Rider cover.
Hey, fun fact. Did you notice you can fit all three chipmunks in a blender? I certainly did.
Boys, it's me.
Dave! Mayday!
What was that?
That was Aunt Jackie.
Well, can I talk to her?
She's practicing her pole dancing.
Pole dancing?
This is a kid's movie, right?
Yep, nobody does that better than him.
No, actually, he's quite terrible at it. Too panicky. Watch and learn.
Okay, Alvin? Alvin? Alvin!
Note the implied threat of violence. That's how it's done. Okay, so they go to school. High school, to be precise. But wait, hang on, even in universe, they're obviously way younger than high schoolers, so what the hell's going on?
And I'm certainly not going to question Dave's judgment in sending three tiny chipmunks into a bustling school where they run the daily risk of being crushed, run over, and stampeded on a daily basis for a completely pointless education.
Go, Eagle!
And that's another hospital bed accounted for.
I'm noticing a theme. Maybe we should just keep Alvin locked in a cage, that way no one gets killed.
The chipmunks are taken to their class where the girls instantly fawn over them. Oh yeah, I forgot! They're world famous singing chipmunks, so any normality is out of the window anyway. Some jocks are none too pleased about their lady stealing powers.
Somebody's gonna have to knock those guys down to size.
Okay, if you're sexually threatened by something you can carry in your back pocket, you've got some serious self-confidence issues. The jock bullies show what big meanies they are by chasing the chipmunks across the school, even giving Simon a dreaded swirly.
Come on, guys, this is so 1980s!
Just because you point out that it's an outdated cliche doesn't excuse it.
Well, I guess they figured the audience was so young enough they wouldn't notice. Besides, is this really necessary? I think that toilet is enough to drown that chipmunk.
It's the fatty ratty.
Cut it out!
Tickles when I poke him.
What the hell could have happened there?
All I know is that I'm firmly guarding my testicles.
Uh-oh, now they're in trouble. But the principal is willing to cut them a deal. You see, their music program is going to be shut down unless the school wins a music competition. God, that sounds familiar.
I'm pretty sure there's a black Christian choir who could help you out with that. It turns out the principal is also a bit of a fan.
I just cannot believe that you're actually sitting in my office. I have all of your CDs.
Is she flirting with them? They're her students and rodents. This is wrong on so so many levels.
But you see, we're having a 2-for-1 sale on paedophilia and bestiality. Buy now and we throw in necrophilia absolutely free!
Meanwhile, at Jet Records, the evil record producer from the first movie, Ian Hart, played by David Cross, swears vengeance on the Chipmunks that ruined his career. He's apparently homeless and spends his time eating garbage from the company dumpster and fighting a rat for muffins. I feel like this is a metaphor of some kind for David Cross's participation in this franchise.
It's like the writers thought to themselves, how can we demean David Cross more than we already have? Somehow sneaking aboard a FedEx truck, enter the Chipettes, Brittany, Jeanette and Eleanor, pointlessly voiced by Christina, Applegate, Anna Faris and Amy Poehler, who are hit so hard by the pitch shifting you can't even tell them apart. They've come to see Ian because they think he can make them stars like Alvin and the Chipmunks. I know it's a minor point, but where on earth did Jeanette get those glasses? In the first film, Simon's glasses were actually explained, whereas here they come right out of the packet.
Are you sure you're not taking this too seriously?
It's a point about laziness, okay?
Okay. Ian takes them to his office on the roof where the Chipettes show off their skills.
Girl, put your records on. You go ahead, let your head out.
They're naked. This is bothering me.
Thank you. I'm glad I'm not the only one. I mean, I know they're chipmunks, but they're so anthropomorphic that seeing them without clothes kind of freaks me out.
Yeah, the furries might like this, I don't. To make the Chipmunks not think he's a homeless loser, he breaks into a model apartment with a grand piano. You do realize the realtor has to show up at some point, right?
The following day we see the Chipmunks playing dodgeball? Whose bright idea was that?
Remember your 5 Ds. Dodge, duck, dip, dive, and dodge.
So Justin Long as Alvin, making a reference to dodgeball, which Justin Long was in and... oh shit.
Ah, look what you did. You made the universe divide by 0 again.
Sorry?
You're next, furball.
You talking to me? I'm the only one here, so you must be talking to me.
Ah, yes, a reference to that popular, well-known children's movie, Taxi Driver.
Hey, how do you think it would smell if you pressed Alvin in a George Foreman grill? I'm guessing delicious. Sorry, go on.
It turns out that Alvin's got a good catching and throwing arm and that the jocks actually want him for their football team. Their football team? He's 8 inches tall!
Let it go, Matt. It's Chipmunk Town.
And thus, Alvin becomes the most popular kid in school. Even has the pussy on demand if he wanted it. Of course, if you already forgot.
I did.
Quite you. The Chipmunks are joining the music competition, which Ian sees in the newspaper.
So, this is Ian's evil plan. He's going to use the Chipettes to steal the Chipmunks' fame by entering the Chipettes into the same school where Alvin and company promptly fall for their female counterparts. So, the school has 2 sets of sane chipmunks wandering around.
Surely the principal wouldn't allow this considering they might be a threat to the music contest?
And sure enough, Ian and his chest hair shows up to position the Chipettes as rivals to the Chipmunks in the contest.
You change your mind like a girl changes clothes. 'Cause you're hot, then you're cold. Yes, then you're no. Hey,
Notice they skipped a line about PMSing like a bitch. Hey, here's a riddle, everybody. What's Kids Bop but worse?
Ian convinces the principal to a public vote. Both groups will perform on Friday, and whoever gets the most applause represents the school in the contest. That's if the Chipmunks can get their act together, because Alvin and Simon are beginning to fall out over Alvin's popularity. This makes Theodore nervous, and he goes to sleep with Toby.
Dutch oven! Must find fresh air before it's too late! Ah! It's too late! Ah! Mama!
Oh good, the obligatory fart joke.
Daddy, what's a Dutch oven?
'Cause Dave never farted in bed. Colon like daisies, that man.
Speaking of Dave, the writers remember that Jason Lee was in their movie as Toby answers Dave's call from Paris and lets slip that he is the one taking care of the kids. Dave immediately tries to get out of the hospital as soon as possible. Presumably this was around the point he discovered that My Name is Earl was cancelled.
Get me out of here! Help! You know what?
Okay, that one wasn't Alvin's fault, he's just an idiot.
There's also a completely stupid filler scene here where the jock bullies tell Simon that he's a litter monitor and then laugh at him as he takes his non-existent position seriously. I thought Simon was supposed to be the smart one. Surely he'd see right through this blatant prank?
Well, Simon gets thrown in the garbage and Alvin goes to help him, but now they're all pissed off at each other, especially when Alvin admits that he may not be singing against the Chipettes because he has a football game at the same time.
Oh, so it's becoming High School Musical.
Okay, Let me sum up the situation so far. Alvin is in conflict with the other Chipmunks, who are in conflict with the school bullies, and they're all in conflict with the guy from Chuck, as well as with the Chipettes and with David Cross, who is taking advantage of the Chipettes, as well as, for the record, setting the Chipettes in conflict with each other. Got all that? Neither do I. What the hell is the plot of this movie? So Alvin debuts on the football field in a stupendously stupid sequence.
I'm gonna crack you like an acorn and eat you for dinner with some fava beans and a nice Chianti.
A Silence of the Lambs reference? Yeah, that's a film that kids should be aware of.
Hey, maybe they'll reenact the Mangina sequence next.
They throw the ball with Alvin on it, which I'm pretty sure is cheating, but there you go. Oh, he's dead! No, of course not, but he ends up scoring the winning touchdown, if you call it that, and is his usual irritating self.
That's what I'm talking about, and I love how awesome I am.
Urge to kill rising.
Did you know that thousands of small rodents are killed every year by farming combines? Just a little piece of trivia, don't know why that popped in my head.
At the same time, during the sing-off, Alvin still hasn't arrived, and the Chipettes are up first.
Oh, good. Because Single Ladies wasn't enough of an annoying, tuneless mess anyway, why not do it with chipmunk voices?
By the way, chipmunks in sexy dresses telling me that if I like it, I should have put a ring on it? Do not want! And because Toby is completely useless, he still hasn't found Alvin, and the chipmunks have to forfeit, meaning the Chipettes win by default.
Oh no! This is horrible! Now they won't be able to
see who would sing in a contest to save the school's music department.
So what?
To save the school's music department.
Oh, right, yes.
Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Alvin arrives late to realise he really is a bit of a prick. Worse still, during the night, Theodore, feeling upset over the lack of family unity, has run away to the zoo.
Whoa, Matthew, you might want to explain this for the people who haven't seen the movie.
Good point. In one of the numerous subplots competing against each other in this mess, Theodore has inexplicably become a fan of the show Meerkat Manor, hence he has ran off to join the Meerkats. Well, hopefully you won't get a cameo from this guy.
Simples!
What the hell was that?
It's a UK thing. Trust me, they found that hilarious.
I'll take your word for it. At the zoo, Theodore enters what he thinks is the meerkat exhibit, but has now been changed into the birds of prey exhibit instead, even though those wild animals would easily be able to fly out of the enclosure. And why would a talking animal want to live with a number of non-talking animals? And for that matter, can Theodore not read? And if he can't, why did he think meerkats were going to be there in the first place?
It's so he can confront his fear of eagles, Todd. You know, the other asinine Theodore-related thing we've been skipping over because there's so much crap in this movie.
Oh yeah, right, we totally skipped that. Wow, there is a lot of shit in this.
There sure is.
Alvin, Simon, and Toby come to the rescue. Okay, not so much in Toby's case, he's a moron. And Alvin talks to a distinctly uninterested eagle.
I get why you want Theodore. I'm sorry, I can't let that happen. He's my brother.
You know, I really don't think there's much use talking to a non-talking animal.
I bet that eagle's thinking to himself, tasty chipmunk. Nom 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 nom.
I gotcha, Alvin! Theo!
Guys, that was huge!
No, it really wasn't. Also, the Chipettes have captured the record company's attention. They've got a gig opening for Britney Spears. But, oh no, they'll miss the competition, and Ian threatens them if they, or more specifically Britney, don't sing. Are we really supposed to care about the fate of the music program?
And maybe I'm misreading this, but does Ian have a thing for Britney? Please tell me he's not after some chipmunk tale.
Okay, competition is happening, got a few sub-Kids Bop performances, and for some reason the Chipmunks are there even though they're not performing. Brittany calls Alvin, Ian's locked them in a cage.
And thus concludes the Chipettes doing a mini remake of the first film.
Oh no! If the kids don't arrive on time, they'll never be able to save the... God, was it the gym? The orphanage?
Close enough. So Alvin comes to the rescue on a toy motorbike, and with Simon's help, they break out of the cage and escape while Ian isn't looking. They hop onto Alvin's motorbike whilst Ian watches in horror and gives chase.
I'm gonna get a little help from my friend Digger!
Roger that, Alvin!
Look out!
Whoa! Feels like I'm back at the racetrack.
Who the heck was that?
That's... Digger, the NASCAR gopher.
Who? No. Why?
Maybe it's this episode movie?
Did he get one?
No.
Ian chases them with a toy helicopter, for some reason, and then Alvin and the Chipettes hop onto said helicopter, for some reason. They throw their helmets at Ian, forcing him to throw the plane's remote in the air, which the Chipettes catch. And then the toy motorbike runs right into Ian's nuts.
It wouldn't be a lowest common denominator kids movie without some testicle smashing.
I just want to point out that David Cross's memoirs are entitled I Drink for a Reason. This is the reason.
The two remaining chipmunks are waiting for Alvin to return and so to stall. Wait, is Toby taking the stage?
Okay, here's another thing we forgot to mention. The school music teacher was the guy from Chuck's crush in high school, so now he's taking the stage to confess his love / horribly embarrass her. Sorry we skipped over that, but trust me, if you blinked you would have missed it anyway.
Ever since I met you, I wanted to be your guy. But as you probably noticed, I'm pathologically shy. So I'm just gonna start by saying hi.
Your problem isn't that you're pathologically shy, it's that you're a stupid, filthy, jobless moron. Get off the stage! Luckily, Alvin and the Chipettes fly in through a conveniently open window and join up with Simon and Theodore. Together they perform this completely unrehearsed yet completely choreographed performance of We Are Family. And look who's decided to show up 5 minutes from the end, it's Dave!
And the school wins the competition, saving the music department. And the music departments for all those other schools in the competition? Shut down. As for the Britney Spears opener, well...
Hi, everyone! I'm Janelle. And I'm Mater. And I'm Brittany. And we're the Chipettes.
Poor David Cross.
I bet he drinks Jack Daniels by the crate.
We should do that after we're done.
You're damn right we should.
So Dave's returned and everything is back to normal. Dave even adopts the Chipettes alongside the Chipmunks.
So they're both adopted sisters and love interests? Ew.
Not tired. Still not tired.
Don't make me come over there!
Okay.
Whoa!
Well, that's Dave back in the hospital again.
Alvin's a shit.
And if you stick around during the credits, you see a comeuppance for the jock bullies and David Cross being humiliated further still by being thrown into a dumpster. Again, you know, stuff they couldn't even resolve in the main narrative. And why should they? They don't care, they made a shitload of money.
Almost $500 million worldwide.
I hate people.
They just didn't care. The whole thing feels rushed because there are so many plot elements thrown into the mix here that it never forms into a cohesive storyline. It is a film of almost unparalleled annoyance. You want Alvin to die because he's so arrogant, you want to inflict pain on Zachary Levi for being so insufferable, and you want to slap some dignity into David Cross. The only wise person here is Jason Lee, who knew to sit out most of this dung heap for a borderline cameo appearance. His straight man presence is sorely missed.
This was a pointless embarrassment. The first movie was sort of admirable in how it at least poked fun at the stupidity of its own premise, but the Squeakquel, God, that word just sounds stupid every time you say it. The Squeakquel has no interest in doing so whatsoever. It's just as stupid, but now it's given up trying to be clever about it, and the plotting is utterly half-assed. They introduce a conflict in one scene, completely ignore it for hour-long stretches, then resolve it. This sucked. Screw you, Matt. Screw you.
I love you too. I'm Matthew Buck, beating down bad movies everywhere.
And I'm Todd in the Shadows saying, come on, Matt, you only did this review because you love Alvin.
I am not obsessed with Alvin and the Chipmunks!